there's a side to fame few people see, where high-profile success collides with hidden struggles, sudden danger, and all too often, tragedy. The stories you're about to hear shine light on 23 bright young stars who seemed bound for greatness but were claimed by shocking ends. Stay with me as we explore each journey piece by piece. You might recognize some of these names from sitcoms, chart-topping anthems, or unforgettable films. Others soared just out of reach before fate intervened. In every case, their stories remind us how fragile life can be, even for those who seem destined to shine forever. 1.
What's up? I'm Aaliyah, and if it's happening in entertainment, you can best believe it's happening on E!
Aaliyah first dazzled America when she appeared on Star Search at just 10 years old. By 15, she was reshaping R&B with her debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. Known for her velvet-smooth voice and genre-bending style, she quickly became a beloved icon, branching into acting and eyeing international superstardom. Then came August 25, 2001. While leaving the Bahamas after filming her Rock the Boat music video, Aaliyah boarded a Cessna 402B that was reportedly overloaded by hundreds of pounds, piloted by someone underqualified. Moments after takeoff, the plane plummeted to the ground. Aaliyah and 8 others perished, leaving the world in collective shock. Investigations revealed a cocktail of negligence, excess weight, an unfit pilot, that robbed music of one of its most radiant voices. Aaliyah's fans still mourn the future she never had the chance to fulfill. 2. Merlin Santana. Merlin Santana launched his acting career early, scoring a breakthrough role on The Cosby Show, and later captivating audiences as Romeo on The Steve Harvey Show. His quick wit and easy charm promised a long run at the top. But on November 9, 2002, Merlin's story took a dark turn when he left a Los Angeles party with close friend Brandon Quinton Adams. Shots rang out as they settled into the car, and one bullet struck Merlin in the head, ending his life on the spot. Investigators later discovered that a 15-year-old girl had lied about Merlin attacking her, inciting 2 men to seek immediate violent revenge. By the time the truth emerged, Merlin's innocence never in question. It was too late. He was gone at just 26, a talented performer erased by a single falsehood. His tragic end remains a chilling testament to how quickly a promising career can be cut short. 3. Tupac Shakur.
That's listening. Now we can tell them something. Now we can try to get them that way, and we might lose some, we might gain some, but we would never even have that audience had we not said what was real.
From his teenage years, Tupac Shakur blazed an unforgettable trail through hip-hop. He also proved his acting chops with roles in Juice and Poetic Justice, capturing hearts and headlines. Yet his life seemed perpetually marred by controversies and feuds, some real, others hyped by the media. On September 7, 1996, Tupac left a Mike Tyson fight in Las Vegas with Death Row Records boss Suge Knight. A run-in with a known gang affiliate led to a confrontation, and just hours later, while stopping at a red light, a white Cadillac pulled up. Gunfire erupted, with 4 bullets tearing into Tupac's body. 6 days later, on September 13th, he succumbed to his injuries. The unsolved nature of his murder fed endless conspiracy theories, some pointing at East Coast-West Coast rivalries, others suspecting industry figures. What's undisputed is that Tupac's artistry left an indelible mark on music, a promise of greatness halted by violence. 4. Lee Thompson Young.
Hello everybody out there. Hey, this is Lee Thompson Young.
Lee Thompson Young soared to fame as the star of Disney's The Famous Jet Jackson, bringing an infectious energy that made him an instant fan favorite. As he aged, he stayed active in Hollywood with roles in Friday Night Lights and Rizzoli and Isles, projecting a bright future. Away from the set, though, Lee fought a silent battle. He struggled with bipolar disorder, but declined medication out of fear it would dull his creativity or keep him from working. On August 19, 2013, Lee didn't appear for a scheduled shoot. Concerned colleagues contacted authorities, who found him unresponsive in his apartment. He had offed himself with a firearm, leaving no final note. The entertainment world reeled at the news, sparking crucial conversations about mental health. For many fans, the warm smile they cherished now served as a haunting reminder that appearances can be tragically deceiving. 5. Tara Correa McMullen. Tara Correa McMullen's most visible role was on the TV drama Judging Amy, where she played a tough but soulful character, a glimpse of her potential as a rising young star. Off-screen, however, she found herself entangled with people living on society's razor edge. On October 21, 2005, 16-year-old Tara stood outside an apartment complex in Englewood, Los Angeles, unaware of the danger inches away. An armed figure approached and fired multiple shots, 2 striking her chest. Investigators traced the attack to Tara's boyfriend, a notorious gang leader, revealing his motive to be an explosive cocktail of suspicion and jealousy. She died on the spot. Her dreams and life ended in an instant. Tara's tragic finale is a sobering illustration of how real-life violence can outdo even the grittiest of TV scripts. 6. Lamont Bentley. Known for his role as Hakeem in the popular sitcom Moesha, Lamont Bentley captured hearts with his humor and warmth. Audiences who watched him evolve from a recurring character to a core part of the show saw him as family, believing he had a lifetime of success ahead. Fate intervened on January 19, 2005. Late that night, Lamont lost control of his Mercedes-Benz on California's Highway 118, barreling through a guardrail. Without a seatbelt, he was ejected from the vehicle into the path of oncoming cars. The impact was fatal. His sudden death at 31 left colleagues and fans reeling, just as he was starting to broaden his horizons in the entertainment world. The sorrowful truth is that a single lapse in safety can unravel years of potential in the blink of an eye. 7. Billy Buckwheat. Thomas Billy. Thomas stole hearts worldwide as Buckwheat in the classic Our Gang short films, often called The Little Rascals. Under that signature hairstyle and mischievous grin was a lovable young actor who became one of early Hollywood's few black performers to earn substantial recognition. But stardom can fade quickly. Thomas spent his teenage and adult years relatively removed from the spotlight. On October 10, 1980, his life ended abruptly when he collapsed at his Los Angeles home due to a severe heart attack. Adding to the confusion, some newspapers mistakenly claimed he'd already been dead for decades, sparking bizarre rumors. Despite the finality of his loss at 49, his presence remains immortalized in black and white footage, reminding us that childhood magic doesn't always translate to a charmed adult life. 8. Nikita Pearl Wallegwa. Nikita Pearl Wallegwa delivered an enchanting performance in Disney's Queen of Katwe at just 12 years old. She portrayed a spirited friend who spurred the protagonist to keep dreaming of chess championships, embodying the film's core message of hope and perseverance. Sadly, life did not mirror the script's uplifting theme. In 2016, doctors discovered Nikita had a highly aggressive brain tumor, glioblastoma. Although initial treatments in India provided a temporary reprieve, the cancer returned with renewed fury. On February 15, 2020, she passed away at just 15 years old in a hospital in Kampala, Uganda. Her departure devastated co-stars and fans alike, reminding the world that even a dazzling global spotlight can't always ward off life's cruelest circumstances. 9. Judith Barcy. Judith Barcy became a regular face in 80s commercials and family films, winning hearts as the voice of Ducky in The Land Before Time and Anne-Marie in All Dogs Go to Heaven. Directors loved her enthusiasm, viewers adored her sweet innocence. But no one guessed the home she returned to each day was a ticking time bomb. On July 25, 1988, Judith's father, an abusive alcoholic, shot her while she slept, then killed her mother before finally turning the gun on himself. The horrifying murder-suicide rocked Hollywood, leaving colleagues stunned at how such darkness could lurk behind a child's success. Today, fans remember Judith through her joyful film characters. It's a bittersweet legacy, reminding us that behind many bright smiles, there might be a desperate plea for help we never hear in time. 10. Frankie Lyman. At 13, Frankie Lyman belted out "Why Do Fools Fall in Love" with a voice so fresh it captivated music lovers worldwide. The track soared, and he earned fortunes most teens couldn't imagine. As puberty shifted his vocals, though, his career took a hard downturn. Soon after, he turned to drugs, entering a downward spiral. On February 27, 1968, Frankie's mother discovered his body lifeless in their Harlem home, a needle still in his arm. He'd OD'd at just 25, long after the world's adoration had evaporated. His name became entangled in legal battles for royalties. Multiple women claimed to be his wife, spurring a feud over the remnants of his once prolific earnings. Frankie's tale is the sad blueprint of a teen phenomenon undone by the temptations that can arise once the spotlight fades. 11th, Patrice O'Neal.
Type, but I didn't realize how important typing was till right now.
Patrice O'Neal wasn't your typical comedian. He broke into stand-up as a young man with razor-sharp, no-holds-barred social commentary that made him a favorite among industry insiders. He never quite reached mainstream stardom, but his peers revered his natural brilliance. In October 2011, Patrice suffered a devastating stroke brought on by diabetes complications. Despite brief hopes for recovery, he passed away on November 29th of that year at just 41. Fellow comics like Chris Rock and Jim Norton publicly mourned, calling him the funniest man they knew. Only after he was gone did the general public begin exploring his final comedy specials, realizing the comedic titan they'd lost. His story stands as a haunting example of potential left mostly unfulfilled by the cruel hand of fate. 12. Chris Kelly.
Nice to have you here.
Nice to be here.
Now, am I right that you guys have been friends since, what, the first grade?
Yeah.
Chris Cross. When Jump dominated the charts in 1992, Chris Kelly and his partner Chris Smith, together known as Chris Cross, were barely in their teens. Sporting backward outfits and infectious beats, they became a pop culture phenomenon overnight. Yet their star power inevitably faded as they grew older. Kelly struggled with drug use for years. On May 1, 2013, paramedics found him at his Atlanta home, unresponsive. He was rushed to the hospital but couldn't be revived. An autopsy revealed he had OD'd on a mix of substances. The public's collective grief included sorrow for a man who never recaptured the wild success of youth. His funeral drew tearful tributes, spotlighting how fame can slip away, while personal battles only intensify in the wings. 13. Heavy D. As a charismatic rapper and frontman for Heavy D and the Boys, Heavy D helped pioneer an inviting, dance-friendly sound in hip-hop. His hits throughout the late 80s and 90s showcased a love of positivity and fun, earning him mainstream appeal. He also dabbled in acting, revealing a versatility few rappers had embraced at the time. On November 8, 2011, Heavy D left a shopping trip and suddenly collapsed outside his Beverly Hills home. Medics discovered he was conscious but struggling to breathe. At the hospital, he succumbed to complications from a pulmonary embolism, a blood clot in his lungs, at the age of 44. Fans worldwide mourned the easygoing MC, cherishing the upbeat tracks and good vibes he consistently provided. His passing served as a sobering reminder that even the healthiest-looking star can be undone by hidden health risks. 14. Michaela de Prince. Born into the brutal civil war of Sierra Leone, Michaela de Prince was adopted by an American family who recognized her boundless potential in ballet. Starting as a passionate tween dancer, she soared across world stages, captivating audiences from the Dutch National Ballet to major international tours. Then, in a stunning twist, Michaela died on September 10, 2024, at just 29. Family members offered little information, fueling speculation about what might have befallen such a promising figure at her artistic prime. Even more heartbreak followed when her adoptive mother died the very next day from heart failure. Fans remembered Michaela for her grace and grit, a dancer who seemed invincible, until tragedy reminded us how fragile even the brightest talents can be. 15. Speaker Knockers.
I had to make a couple bands by my lonely. I had to make a couple bands by my lonely.
Speaker Knockers built a major online following in his teens, producing catchy rap tracks and generating millions of YouTube views, an impressive achievement without the backing of a traditional record label. His breakout hit, Lonely, hinted at personal battles, urging fans to read between the lines of its somber lyrics. On March 6, 2014, his mother found him in the garage, unresponsive. Authorities were puzzled. No sign of forced entry or struggle. Rumors of an OD swirled, though the official story remained hazy. He was just 19, an artist poised to break into the mainstream. The abrupt silence surrounding his final moments left fans haunted, especially since Lonely felt like a prophecy he never got the chance to outrun. 16. Dalla. At 18, Atlanta-born rapper Dalla was quickly earning a name for himself in the hip-hop community with catchy tracks like Who the F Is That featuring T-Pain. Industry insiders earmarked him as the next breakout star, but that vision never unfolded. In May 2009, as he exited a Los Angeles restaurant, an encounter in the parking lot escalated into gunshots. Dalla was fatally hit. His alleged attacker claimed self-defense and was ultimately acquitted, a verdict that outraged fans who believed otherwise. While the courts decided the shooter's fate, the finality of Dalla's loss underscored how easily a life on the cusp of stardom can be taken over petty disputes, and how the legal process sometimes offers no solace. 17. Notorious B.I.G. Biggie. Christopher Wallace, better known as the Notorious B.I.G., was a commanding figure in East Coast rap, ushering in a lyrical and narrative style that resonated around the globe. By 22, his debut album, Ready to Die, cemented him as a generational icon. But on March 9, 1997, while leaving a party in Los Angeles, a Chevy Impala pulled alongside Biggie's SUV, and an unidentified gunman opened fire. Biggie was shot multiple times. He died soon after at just 24. Conspiracy theories sprouted immediately, linking his murder to East Coast-West Coast beef, revenge for Tupac's killing, or possibly deeper conspiracies involving music executives. Decades later, the crime remains unsolved, and his legacy remains legendary. 18. Natina Reed.
Our music style is, I would say, it's universal.
Natina Reed burst onto the R&B scene with the girl group Block in the late 90s, famously mentored by Lisa Left Eye Lopes of TLC. Their track 808 propelled them onto the charts, and Natina even snagged a role in the popular cheerleading film Bring It On. Tragically, on October 26, 2012, just a day shy of her 33rd birthday, she was walking along a dark road in Georgia when a vehicle struck her at high speed. Paramedics responded immediately, but Natina didn't make it. Although authorities deemed it a tragic accident, fans wondered why she was out there alone so late. The collision echoed Lisa Lopes's fatal crash 10 years before, leaving R&B devotees with an eerie sense of history repeating itself. 19. Lil Snoop.
I represent Jonesboro. What they don't make it up. Look, I say I represent Jonesboro. Hold up.
Lil Snoop, born a Darren Ross, had that hunger hip-hop insiders crave. He caught Meek Mill's attention at just 17, got signed to Dream Chasers Records, and began carving a name for himself with striking freestyle abilities. Everyone buzzed about the unstoppable future ahead. But on June 20th, 2013, a heated argument over a video game ended in gunfire, leaving Lil Snoop shot twice in the chest. He died immediately. The shooter, an older man named Tony Holden, fled, but was later arrested. Fans still lament that Lil Snoop's unstoppable flow and potential were dashed by something so trivial. His death reverberated through a rap community that had barely gotten a taste of his talent. 20. Trouble T. Roy Troy Dixon, famously known as Trouble T. Roy, made his mark as a gifted dancer in Heavy D and the Boys. His dynamic performances helped define the group's high-energy stage presence, making him a fan favorite wherever they performed. However, while on tour in Indianapolis in July 1990, an offstage accident abruptly ended his life. T-Roy was playing around on a building's walkway, lost his balance, and fell about 10 feet onto concrete. The injuries proved lethal, and he died at 22. His tragic fall became the inspiration for Pete Rock and CL Smooth's classic track, They Reminisce Over You, TROY, an enduring anthem that honors a friend whose fate changed hip-hop's narrative about fleeting youth. 21st. Florence Griffith Joyner, Flo Jo. Florence Griffith Joyner captured the world's heart with her flamboyant style, colorful outfits, flowing hair, and jaw-dropping speed. She holds the unbeaten records in the women's 100 meters and 200 meters, setting them in 1988. Rumors of doping dogged her achievements, but she vehemently denied them, never testing positive. In the early morning of September 21st, 1998, Flo Jo's husband found her unresponsive. She died in her sleep from a sudden seizure. Some insisted doping contributed to her demise, but official reports didn't support the theory. Regardless, the abrupt loss of a 38-year-old icon sparked debates on how physically demanding top-tier athleticism can be. Even now, Flo Jo remains a symbol of both brilliance and the mysteries that follow record-breaking success. 22nd. Len Bias. Len Bias reigned at the University of Maryland with a basketball style many believed matched or even surpassed Michael Jordan's college performances. The Boston Celtics chose him second overall in the 1986 NBA draft, envisioning him as a game-changing addition to their dynasty. Celebrations took a dark turn within 48 hours of that draft. Bias partied with friends, indulged in cocaine, and collapsed in a fatal seizure. He was just 22. News of his sudden passing rocked the sports world, sparking discussions on substance abuse, college athletics, and personal accountability. Many still call Len Bias the greatest basketball talent never to play in an NBA game, an epitaph that resonates with permanent regret. 23rd. Sean Taylor, drafted 5th overall in 2004 by the Washington Redskins. Sean Taylor was a ferocious safety whose hits rattled opponents. As a young star in the NFL, his athletic prowess hinted at a Hall of Fame career. Then, tragedy broke the hearts of football fans everywhere. On November 27, 2007, intruders broke into Taylor's Florida home in the middle of the night. Startled awake, he grabbed a machete to protect his girlfriend and baby daughter. An assailant fired a single shot that severed his femoral artery, leading to massive blood loss. Although he was rushed to the hospital, Taylor died soon after. Authorities arrested several suspects, claiming they only intended a burglary, yet some fans and analysts theorize a targeted hit. Regardless, the result was the same: a dynamic talent erased long before he reached his peak. From the first spark of fame to the heartbreaking final moments, these 23 young stars reveal just how precarious the spotlight can be. Some fell victim to random accidents, others to deliberate acts of violence or silent battles with mental health and substance misuse. Each case serves as a sobering reminder that fortune and celebrity bring no guarantee of safety or well-being. As you reflect on these stories, consider the often unseen pressures placed on young icons expected to shoulder adult burdens. Their talent and grace brought joy to countless fans, but behind the curtain, many wrestled with demons, toxic environments, or unforeseeable tragedies. Which story resonates with you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments, and be sure to subscribe if you're hungry for more revealing glimpses behind showbiz's bright facade. Because as we've learned, the distance between triumph and tragedy can be painfully short, even for those who seem to have the world at their feet.